Welcome to Heritage University's Institute for Student Identity and Success and our research-based breakthrough strategies. I really hope you enjoy the insight this faculty member has in how to help first-generation students be really successful.
I think all college students experience some hesitation when asking questions during class. But I find that first-generation students often have additional barriers to overcome. Many have been told since childhood, don't ask questions in public. It just makes you look stupid. In addition, many have a very low self-confidence level. My challenge, therefore, was to find a way to let students know that asking questions, especially when they don't understand something, is an essential skill to become a successful, truly engaged college learner. Without this skill, a student's ability to succeed in a course may be significantly compromised. My breakthrough strategy includes several approaches to help students overcome the fear of asking questions. First, I psychologically reposition myself from being the one giving the students the knowledge to the one acting as a personal guide to help them understand the subject. I tell them I don't give grades. I'm here to help you do your best in my class. I acknowledge that doing your best requires a lot of effort. My job as their guide is to match the effort they're willing to put out into achieving the success in this subject. That gives students a sense of permission to ask questions and get the help that they need. I often remind my students that there are no dumb questions, and I add that someone in the room probably has the same question as you, and that person may be shyer than you. So if you don't ask the question, then they're not going to learn either. First-generation students usually come from families where responsibility to family and community is very strong. So, making them feel responsible for the learning of others can help overcome their fear of asking questions. I also use a lot of humor and a light touch. Laughing relaxes my students so they're intellectually ripe and open to critical thinking. It helps them to relate to me as a real person. Another approach I use is the think, pair, share format. First, they listen to a thought-provoking question that I present. I give them time to think about it, and then each student shares their thoughts and questions with another student. I then call on random class members, asking what they came up with in their sharing. I give them the option to report their partner's questions if they don't want to share their own. And this helps overcome a fear of putting them on the spot, having to ask their own questions. I often give my students high praise for good questions. If they ask a question that I don't know the answer to, I'll give them the opportunity to answer the question for 5 extra credit points. This motivates students to come up with some really insightful questions. By using these strategies, I find my students gain the confidence to ask questions when they don't understand something. They begin to understand that most questions typically have more than one correct answer, as there are often many gray areas surrounding the answer. This helps students delve more deeply into the subject at hand, and they realize not only that it's okay to ask questions, but their questions often add to a deeper, more interesting and instructive discussion. That's when I know they are truly engaged in their learning and they can succeed.